The National Trust is Europe's largest conservation charity organisation. It protects 900 miles of coastline, 500 historic houses, castles, parks and gardens, and nearly 1 million works of art. It looks after nature, beauty and history, and it does with the help of millions of members, volunteers, staff and donors. But while historic in its mission, its operation is truly cutting-edge digital. To learn more about how Salesforce helps power the work of National Trust, I'm joined by John Townsend, Chief Information Officer at National Trust. Very warm welcome, John. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you. This is your how many world tour? Second world tour?
I think it's about my third.
Amazing.
But, this one looks fantastic.
Yes.
And it feels bigger than ever.
It is. It's always really electrifying. John, tell us about the journey that you've been on digitally with the National Trust and what was happening before you embarked on this journey.
Sure, Sally. So it's been quite an adventure, I can tell you that. And we've had lots of great people doing some amazing work. Before we started on this journey, we had old systems that weren't really talking to each other. We managed our membership on one, we managed our fundraising activities on another system, and our marketing activities were on a separate one. None of them were talking to each other, and it was really hard. We only had one type of membership that we could offer, and it was really difficult to engage with our supporters in a joined-up way. And so, having that sort of ability to communicate people in a way that was actually personalized and meant something for them was really important for us. That was one of the main reasons why we set off on this journey.
Yeah, that's great. And how would you say Salesforce has helped you along with that journey as well?
Salesforce have been a great partner throughout. We've it's not been easy, but we've gone through it together.
Yeah.
We all bear the scars of our transformation,
Yeah.
but actually we've got to a really great place. We've got a platform that's really fit for the future, and the team have worked incredibly well together throughout the whole time that we've been on this journey.
That's great. Yeah, it always has to be a partnership as well.
It must be, because in that partnership, Salesforce, the customer, and the implementation partner is a really powerful triumvirate.
Yeah, for sure. What are some of the results that you're seeing and successes that you're seeing through the partnership?
Well, firstly, we have that joined up view of our supporters. So we understand when somebody is a member, but they also might be a donor. And, we can really join up that picture, but also we can engage with them as and when we need to, or they want to hear from us about things. We can think about new products and services that we want to offer our supporters. And all of these things were pipe dreams before, they were never even in our thinking about what we might be able to achieve digitally.
It sounds like a connected ecosystem, so truly bringing that connectivity through technology is probably going to be empowering for everybody.
It's really powerful because people want to hear about the things that they're interested in, so making sure we can do that. But it's also really powerful for the future of the trust as well, not just from a growing support for the organization, which is really important for us to achieve our charitable purpose, but also so that we can grow revenue for the organization, because, to restore nature, to end unequal access to nature, beauty and history, all of these things, they cost money. And so having the power of the platform to engage with people, but also to be able to actually drive that revenue is hugely important.
Yeah, it's great that you're able to see that attribution of revenue as well. It's
Absolutely.
believing in the personalization.
Yeah.
So being able to see the tangible value from it as well.
And it is, for a lot of marketing people out there, being able to attribute effort to outcome is really, really important. And that's something that, the data that we have, the insights that we can gain from that using different capabilities on the Salesforce platform is really powerful for us.
So talking about Salesforce capabilities, I know you employ many Salesforce products, so Agentforce and Data Cloud are amongst those two of the really big products right now as well. What's been some of the impact to the organization by using Agentforce and Data Cloud?
The key thing really for us with Data Cloud, because as I mentioned before, we didn't have that single unified view of our supporters. So to be able to create that, to be able to think about how we might look at our audiences in different ways, to be able to understand what they're interested in, and to become more audience-led in what we're trying to achieve. None of that would have been possible without Data Cloud. And so that's really accelerated our journey. One of the great benefits, though, it now means that we're really well placed for our AI journey to truly begin. And we've been working to develop an Agentforce capability about not only how our people within the trust can work in a much more productive and joined up way, but also how we can engage with our supporters. And some of those more straightforward tasks, like people wanting to renew a membership, or they want to change an address, or they need a new handbook, or whatever that is, then those are tasks that Agentforce can really, really simplify for us.
It sounds like you've really thought about that scalable approach of how you're going to be leveraging Agentforce with the data foundations that you're building as well. You talked about the different partners that are on this mission together. How's implementation been for you guys?
We started our implementation right at the point when the pandemic began, which is terrible planning, you might say, on my part, but we couldn't foresee it.
I think it's the catalyst to any digital transformation.
I think so. But you know what, to be fair, both our team stuck at it, Salesforce stuck at it, and the implementation partners stuck at it. We work with a couple of implementation partners, with Valtech, with Evident, Atos, who, have worked with us throughout that to actually get the job done, to get our transformation into a good place. But we're still only at the early stages of that in many ways, and they continue to work with us in driving that forward. But it's not easy. None of this stuff is. If you're going from old systems with millions of customer records and trying to land them into from one live system into another one, it's not an easy journey. And having the people who really know what they're talking about, thinking about it, architecting it properly, working with people to design the system in a way that it needs to be, and being flexible. So making sure that you really think about what are the outcomes that you're trying to achieve through this implementation. Because these are not about technology. Technology is great, it's really important, the data is great, it's really important, but it's the business outcome that you're seeking to achieve. That's what really matters.
That tangible value.
Absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely.
It's been fascinating. One last bit of advice from you. I'm sure you've inspired many people today in the audience. What would be one thing that you would give as advice that from other organizations that want to follow the same journey that National Trust has been on?
So can I give three?
Yes.
Firstly, I'd say be ambitious, because the power of the platform can really help drive your business forward. So really think about that. Be ambitious.
Ambitious.
Shoot for the stars, they say. Think about what it is you're trying to achieve, though. Have that business outcome front or center of your mind before you set out on the journey. And the final one I'd say is maintain a sense of humor throughout.
Brilliant. So be ambitious, think about the value, and have fun with the journey.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. It's been so wonderful speaking to you. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us on the National Trust.
My pleasure, Sally.
Thank you.